How's it going?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I got no complaints.
So we're just gonna start. We're gonna introduce you, and then we're get right into it.
Sounds good.
Today on the Matt and Ann show, we got NHL legend Grant Fuhr. Welcome to the show, Grant.
Thanks for having me. Guys doing good?
We're doing great. We want to start off the NHL season's 2 months in. What do you think so far?
I think it's been great. I mean, you look at all the different divisions. I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of the Canadian division, watching all those teams play against each other every night. But you look at all the different divisions, everything's been close. So it's been fun.
I know you live near Lake Tahoe. You golf there a lot.
I'm actually down in Palm Springs.
Palm Springs? Okay.
Kind of the middle of nowhere.
Did you get a chance to watch the Lake Tahoe game at all?
I did. Unfortunately, it didn't showcase as good as it could have. I mean, If it had been a little bit cooler outside, I think it would have been phenomenal.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to do more games like that? Maybe not in Lake Tahoe, but in other locations?
I hope they do. I mean, I think it's great to move around the country, see some different venues. There's so many great backdrops around North America that it would be fabulous to see some more games in different spots.
Absolutely.
With that being said, with your thing never going on, can you imagine yourself being in a pandemic or playing in a pandemic?
Sorry, run that by me again.
Could you imagine having to play during the pandemic? So like with no fans and all that? Like that,
you know what? It wouldn't have been very much fun. I mean, obviously it's fun playing in front of the fans and such, but that hanging out in a bubble kind of deal, I don't think it's very much fun for the players. It's hard on families. So it would have been a little bit tough.
Did you have a favorite arena that you always were excited when you went to play in?
I like the old original 6 buildings, like Maple Leaf Gardens, the old Montreal Forum, Boston Garden, Chicago Stadium. I mean, all those old buildings were fun just because of the history of them.
Before a game, did you like before a game?
Did you have like a superstition?
Yeah, you know what? I was pretty laid back before games. I mean, that's the one great thing with the guys in Edmonton is we played ping pong right up until it was time to get dressed. on the road, we were pretty laid back. So we were a pretty laid back group of guys. Didn't have a whole lot of superstitions.
You have any great stories from the 1987 Canada Cup team?
You know what? We had so much fun just being a part of that group. You look at all the talent in the National Hockey League. And the sad part about the whole thing is you could have built a second team just on the guys that didn't make that team. That probably would have finished either first or second. I mean, that's just how much talent there was in the National Hockey League at that time.
And what do you think about the last Olympics? They didn't have NHL talent in it. What do you think about them taking 2 weeks off to play in the Olympics? Because I heard they're bringing it back in 2022.
See, I don't have a problem with that. You want to see the best players in the world play against the best players in the world. So whether it be a World Championships, whether it be an Olympics, I have no problem with them taking 2 weeks off so you get to see the best of everybody.
What did you enjoy in your career as far as a favorite thing of yours or a favorite moment? Do you have any?
You know what? I've got a lot of favorite moments. I mean, that's the best part about playing for 20 years is you have so many good moments. But the biggest thing that I got out of the game is I've got so many good friends that I still have today. I think that's the biggest thing is that I can call up any one of those guys and it's like we've never lost touch. So it's all the great friends that you get from the game.
What was it like playing with Wayne Gretzky? Because you played with him in his prime, his first 10 years when he broke every NHL record. What was that like?
It was awesome. There's no better guy in the game of hockey. I mean, one, he's the ultimate competitor. Two, you learn from him, but it was fun to be around. I mean, I get lucky enough, I get to coach with him afterwards also. So it's fun being around the best athlete in your sport, and to be around Wayne, to watch how he prepared, to see just how he did things. You got better just by paying attention to what he was doing.
Where do you rate yourself as a player?
You know, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm still a big fan of guys like Terry Sawchuk, Glenn Hall. And obviously you got to put Patrick in there. You got to put Marty Brodeur in there, Dominic Hasek in there. So, hey, if I'm somewhere in the top 20, I'm happy as could be.
You were talking about you coached with Wayne Gretzky. Did you ever think about going and being a head coach, whether it was AHL or even NHL?
You know what? At times you think about it, but at times you don't think about it. So it's kind of a hit or miss. I mean, I would love to get back into junior hockey. I think that would be a lot of fun. It's about teaching and kids learning. So I think junior hockey would be a better fit for me.
Can you ever have a TV show about your career or about your life?
Or a reality show?
Yeah.
I don't know about a reality show. I mean, it would be a lot. I've got a couple of friends that have done some reality shows, that sort of thing. It's always entertaining. I mean, I'm not sure how many people would be that interested in what I do every day. I mean, well, during COVID, it's pretty simple. I'm either at home or I'm on the golf course. So it makes life pretty simple right now. But you could see it if a guy went back into coaching, that sort of thing. It would be fun to do.
Yeah.
With that being said, do you have a favorite cartoon growing up as a kid?
You know what? I was a big Flintstones fan. I came home from school every day to watch them at lunchtime. So I grew up a big Flintstones fan.
Is there a goalie right now in the NHL that, like, when they're on, you have to watch them play?
I love watching Carrie Price play. I mean, even though they say he's going through struggles right now, I still enjoy watching him play. He's kind of the ultimate hybrid goalie. So yeah. I quite enjoy sitting down and watching him play.
He showed that last year because he had a shaky regular season, but once that playoffs came around, he had a tremendous playoffs.
It is, and it's hard to be good every day. I mean, you're going to have some ups and some downs, and as he goes through a little bit of a tough patch, you can see the talent come out because he's going to get better and better, and come playoff time or come the stretch when Montreal needs him, he's going to be there.
Was there a player or athlete that you met and you were like, oh my God, I got to meet him or her?
You know what? I've been pretty lucky over the course of time where I've got to spend some time with Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan. I got to spend time with Julius Erving. So I've got to, with Gretz every day. So I've got to see the best athletes of every sport. And I'm lucky enough that I can call them my friends.
Is there a favorite moment that you have with your guys that you can elaborate?
You know, anytime I can get together with those guys, it's fun. I mean, earlier this year, I was in Arizona, got to spend some time with Charles, and you get to see Michael at certain events. So anytime you get to spend time with those guys, I'm lucky enough, I get to see Wayne a fair amount. So the fun part is I get to spend time with those guys and you get personal time with them, which a lot of people would dream of doing. I've been lucky enough to be able to do that.
What inspired you to become a goalie? Did you play a position before you became a goaltender, or was it always goalie from youth up?
I was goalie from day one. Nobody else wanted to play goal, and I thought the equipment looked great. So I volunteered for that. And up until I stopped putting the gear on here, about 5 years ago, I was still a goalie. It's the one thing I've always done and always loved.
And what was the one player you idolized growing up?
Big Glenn Hall fan. I really like Glenn Hall. The videos of Terry Sawchuk, but I got to know Glenn as a young kid. Got to see what he went through to play the game, and always been a big fan of his.
You've been all over the place. is there a favorite restaurant or a favorite food that you like to have when you're on the road?
You know what? I'm a big fan of food, period. So every city you go to, there's always a restaurant you like. Like here in the desert where I live, I love Mastro's. I'm a steak guy. So you go to Toronto, there's different restaurants. Any city you go to, the guys always have a good steakhouse or a good Italian restaurant that everybody seems to gravitate to.
Right now, I'd say the best teams in the league are like the Flyers, Bruins. I'd say the Maple Leafs are looking really good right now. The Golden Knights. Who do you think out of all of them is going to be the one that raises the cup this year?
You know what? It's going to be hard to say because it's going to be tough for the teams to get out of their own divisions. I mean, you got to look at Tampa's pretty strong again.
Yeah.
But then Florida's kind of been a big surprise where they've been very good. I mean, the Bruins will be good. The Flyers will be good. The Leafs look good. But coming out of the Canadian division, it could be just about anybody. I mean,
that Canadian division's crazy right now.
It is. And anybody can beat anybody on any given night. So, but when it comes down to a 7-game series in the playoffs, I think you'll start to see the best teams trickle up towards the top.
Is there any team that stand out to you? You are?
Sorry?
Is there any team right now that stands out to you?
I think Toronto's been probably the best team in the league, but I think that one of the bigger surprises has been Florida. I think they've been really good. Boston's always been good. I mean, Winnipeg's going to get better. Tampa's a surprise in the way that they started, where they were a little slow starting. Then they got really good. Then they kind of hit a lull again.
Yeah.
But I think the Leafs are probably the biggest surprise. You knew they were good, but I didn't think they would dominate the Canadian division like they have.
Yeah, they've been going crazy. I have a two-parter. Did you have a favorite goaltender that when you played them, you put your best effort that night? You're like, I have to play the best I can tonight because they're just as good as I am. And then same with that, a player, whether defender, forward.
As a goalie, two-part. My first couple of years, Tony Esposito was still playing, and he was one that I idolized when I first started in the league. So you always wanted to play good against him, and I was fortunate enough to play against him a couple of times. After that, it's Billy Smith, obviously, in the playoffs, because Smitty was the best money goalie at that time. Patrick, as he became better, Marty Brodeur. And those are the guys you want to play good against. Yeah. So always your peers. Anybody that you see as your peers, you want to be good against. As for forwards, obviously Mario. Mario was, I would say, 1A, 1B with Gretz. So, and having played against both of them, you want to have your best stuff when you're playing against them.
Well, that means that one of your best players in your time. But if you're a young guy like myself or Matt that was looking up to you, what would be your message to us or our fans?
I think the biggest message I would have is you have to enjoy life more than anything. I mean, I lasted 20 years and enjoyed every minute of it. And I said, when I stopped enjoying it, that I'd retire. Well, the body kind of broke down and it became less fun. So I got out. But at the same time, you can look at that in anything in life. You have to enjoy what you do. And I feel fortunate. I played a game for a living, but I also feel fortunate that I've enjoyed my life every day.
Can you see yourself doing a radio, like a sport radio?
Or like a podcast?
Yeah.
Like hosting your own podcast?
At some point in time, possibly. I mean, I think it would be a lot of fun. I've got enough friends that I could have some entertaining guests. So.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Well, we want to thank you, Grant. You've been an amazing guest today. You're a legend. You have anything you want to promote?
No, I've got my first celebrity tournament coming up here in Palm Springs, April 16, 17, 18, benefiting the Betty Ford Center. So we've got that golf tournament coming up, and hopefully COVID gets a little less and they free things up a little bit and everybody can enjoy themselves and we'll have some fun.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a blast.
It's my pleasure. You guys have a great day.
You too.